刚刚讲我们的心所渴望的东西会塑造我们这个人，而我们所做的行动也会在塑造我们的心。那今天在谈到workplace theology 的时候，我感觉有一个隔阂好像很难跨越，就是好像很多时候强调 workplace theology 的人会觉得教会的牧者好像很难够 align， 而很多教会的牧者也会觉得说他们也看重整全的门徒训练，可是他们对于 workplace theology 或者是在推动职场的时候，好像很多时候有一种格格不入。那针对这两者之间的这个 gap 这个鸿沟我真的很好奇，就是 Paul 你在那么多年不论在维真神学院训练牧者神学生，或者是在推动你觉得怎么样可以再往前走一步，去 mind the gap between 就是好像强调职场神学的人跟第一线的教牧领袖，特别很多教牧领袖可能觉得说自己没有在职场待过或待得够久，所以没有资格也没有能力谈论这一块。我很好奇，就是 Paul 你怎么看，怎么去 mind the gap？
Thank you for a very, very important question. And I do think that workplace theology encompasses the church because pastors and missionaries are working. They're working. But I think the question of infecting the church with the bridging ministry, the empowering and equipping ministry is critically important. And, you know, we're part of a global movement right now at this moment. It's global. It's not just North American. It's not just Asia. It's global. But it is largely bypassing the church. Largely. And so I'm just going to throw out a couple of things quickly. Number one, we need in our seminaries, every seminary needs to have at least one course, which every future pastor takes to engage with workplace theology and the practicality of empowering people for their Monday to Saturday service to God and to their neighbor. So that's number one. Number two is, and I've been a pastor, and it is so easy for we pastors to become totally absorbed in the in-church life. But I think if every pastor reserved a half day every week to spend in the workplaces of the members of their church, and I do this, it would be transformative. I mean, you simply have to say, I won't embarrass you by preaching to your fellow employees, but I want to learn. I want to learn what are the issues you face. And I want you to know that you are doing the Lord's work. I want to learn. And so I phoned up my lawyer friend and I said, Peter, I want to spend a week in your practice. And he phoned up all his clients for that week and said, I have a friend who wants to learn about law. Would you mind if he were present for our interviews? Not one person turned him down. I wrote pages of theological reflection for him on his work, his ministry. Okay, so that's number two. Number three is we need to have more pastors who have worked in the workplace or are currently working in the workplace, even part-time. We need more bivocational, so-called, I hate the term bivocational because it's all one calling, but self-supported, partially, at least partially self-supported. And you say, oh, it's already an 80-hour a week job to be a pastor. Yeah, that's because you're there 80 hours a week. But if you were only 20 to 30 hours a week in the church building, and you are not available all the time, other people are going to need to become ministers, and not just professional ministers. So you're going to, and I know a number of so-called bivocational pastors, tent-making pastors. Even that term is mixed up, and so that's a third thing I would say. And the fourth is every church needs to hear the word of God on work. And I think it's possible, and I've actually endured it, of hearing a year of sermons from the Bible and hearing nothing about what the people of God are spending somewhere between 40 and 80 hours a week of their life on. Oh yeah, they treat some of the work passages, but they treat them devotionally. Mm-hmm. Whereas the word of God is dynamic on the question of work. So thank you. We're out of time, but I have enjoyed so much meeting you. And I took a note about everybody's introduction, and it's a sweet group, a wonderful group. And I just pray that you'll be richly blessed.